If you're looking for a cheaper alternative to Pacific Rock Moss, then I got you guys covered. What's good, guys? Hunter here and welcome back to Fragrance Hunter. Hope you're all doing great. Now today we are reviewing a fragrance from the house of Nusuk, which is, if you don't know, sister companies to Riffs, which we pretty much all know at this point. They've created so many popular fragrances like Memento, I think Blue Privé. And this is my first time experiencing the house of Nusuk, but today we are talking about Sama, which I believe means sun, which I think is fitted perfectly to this fragrance. And like I said in the intro, guys, this is going to be inspired by Goldfield & Banks Pacific Rock Moss, which is one of the most popular fragrances for that house. Now, me personally, I've smelled it like once or twice in a store, but I do not own it. I don't vividly remember that scent profile exactly, so we're pretty much going to be reviewing this based on the fragrance alone. And honestly, I wish I would have got this a little bit sooner because I would have rocked this a ton during the summer. I also want to shout out Riffs and Nusuk for sending Sama over for review. Of course, though, I'm still going to be honest. If I enjoy it, I enjoy it, and if I don't, I don't. It's as simple as that, guys. So let's run down some information now. Sama was launched in 2025. It's brand new from the house of Nusuk. For the retail price, only size this comes in, which is the 100 ml, is going to run you roughly around that $30 mark from what I can see online. And of course, I'll try to leave a tag on this video, the best price you'll be able to find this for if it's available. And I mean, for 30 bucks, that's insane, guys. When you think of Pacific Rock Moss, that retails for well over 100 bucks, even over 100 bucks on the discounters. The concentration with this isn't eau de parfum, so you're probably getting roughly around 20% oils, which is great for a freshie like this. And for the perfumer that is going to be unknown, unfortunately, I'm not sure who the nose was that created Sama, so unless somebody knows, drop a comment below. With all the information out of the way, let's get the packaging and presentation you're going to get with Sama now. All right, take a look at this box, which is kind of your generic, typical cardboard box. Of course, Sama, some Arabic right there. This blue kind of flow going through that represents the bottle. Nusuk Eau de Parfum 100 ml. On the bottom of the box, you've got your barcode and batch code to authenticate your product and see when it was produced. And then on the back, just all of your ingredients. And then you got that Nusuk logo up top. So yeah, pretty much generic box presentation, but that's not the biggest deal. Let's look at the bottle now. Okay, so looking at this bottle, which I think does look very neat. Of course, same as that blue flow, just as that box. Nusuk, Sama right there. You have this kind of bluish, tealish juice color inside. On the bottom, you got your batch code as well as Nusuk embossed in the glass. Nothing on the back, Nusuk up top of the cap, which is a lightweight kind of plastic cap that does hold in by friction, somewhat tight, even though be cautious if you're picking up by the cap. But all in all, decent looking bottle presentation. In the top, you got lemon and bergamot. In the mid, you got sage and geranium. And in the base, you got musk, moss, and amber. And this would be classified as an aquatic citrus. So let's spray this and test out these atomizers. Whoa, guys, one of the best atomizers I've ever seen. Riffs and Nusuk knock it out of the park when it comes to that. So let's go ahead and remind myself of Sama. And you already know, I'll let you guys do the first sniff. So what do you guys think about that opening? I know, right? Insane, guys, because this has got to be one of the brightest, refreshing openings I've tried in a very, very long time. It opened up so citrusy and fresh from bergamot and lemon immediately upon first spray, and it's insane how bright this one opens up, guys. One of the brightest, most citrusy openings I've tried in years. And that's probably why Pacific Rock Moss is one of the most popular fragrances from Goldfield & Banks. I can see why. If it smells anything like this, that opening is incredible. Just one of the cleanest, brightest, most vibrant citrus openings I've had my nose on, and I'm kind of upset that we're going into the fall now because this would have been perfect on a bright summer sunny day. Now, as this one starts to dry down, it does have some aromatic qualities from the sage, which is a little bit metallic and ozonic in and of itself. So it's this kind of aromatic, fresh, clean, citrusy type of fragrance. And usually I'm not the biggest fan of sage. I much prefer lavender when it comes to those kind of scent profiles, but still the sage in here I think works great mixed with the lemon and bergamot. I'm not really detecting any of that geranium in the mid whatsoever. And another plus about this fragrance is the bergamot and lemon opening actually lasts quite a long time, which is not usually the case. So once you make your way into the base of Sama, is by far the star of the show because you're gonna get a heavy dose of moss. So this is inspired by Pacific Rock Moss, like I said, and it has moss in its name. So this is gonna be a fresh, aquatic, citrusy, mossy kind of aromatic fragrance, and the moss is so strong. It's more of this earthy, kind of wet, damp moss base, which I love. And makes this one completely stand apart from any other kind of freshie fragrance. And along with that damp earthy moss, you also have this clean white musk combination. So it's not going to be a completely earthy dry down. The clean white musk kind of balance it out perfectly. It's sort of that kind of moss you find kind of washed up in the ocean rather than like moss on a tree, just because of how aquatic, salty, earthy, and damp it comes across. So whether you're looking for a cheaper alternative to Pacific Rock Moss or just want an inexpensive, fresh, unique fragrance, Sama is going to be one of the best bets to go for, period. So for the best seasons to rock this one, I'm primarily wearing this one in the spring and summer strictly, guys. This one's just so fresh, so vibrant and bright that it works perfect on a hot summer sunny day, just like the name says, Sama, which means sun. But still, I think it's so clean that you could wear this one as a signature scent if you really wanted to. If you just want to smell clean and fresh all year round, you can still do that. Just for me, guys, I have so many fragrances. This is primarily a spring and summer targeted fragrance, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm about to put this back in my collection, let it sit for up to a year until we go into the springtime, and then pull it back out. For occasion now, this is very casual, the kind of fragrance I'll wear just to spray on running errands, going to an office like a job or something like that, possibly going on like a coffee date, but nothing in the evening time, nothing formal when you want to dress up and smell expensive and kind of stand out. This is just that clean, fresh, dumb reach fragrance, knowing you're going to smell good if you're just running out of the house or run some errands. Or going to the gym. This would be an excellent gym fragrance, which just popped in my mind right now. Yeah, this has got to be one of the best gym fragrances for the price, no doubt about that. You could just keep this like in your gym bag and you'll be the best smelling dude at the gym and won't even offend anybody around you. For gender, I'm going to classify this one as unisex just because of how fresh and clean it comes across. It doesn't lean feminine, it doesn't lean masculine, anything like that. Pretty much anybody can rock this and enjoy it. So ladies, if you love fresh, clean fragrances, check it out, and men, of course, as well. Which I believe this also is categorized as a unisex fragrance from the house of Nusuk, if I'm not mistaken. Because they released another fragrance in this line called Safa at the same time. It has like brown rather than blue, and I think that's inspired by Kayali's marshmallow. I forget exactly what that one's called, but I would imagine that does probably lean a little bit feminine. For age groups now, I'm gonna say this is somewhat of a youthful style of fragrance at the end of the day. I can picture the youthful group kind of gravitating towards this fragrance the most, like somebody in the late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, etc. Especially because how inexpensive it is. Somebody in like high school will be able to get something like this. There's just nothing kind of sophisticated or classy or elevated about this scent profile that I can imagine somebody like 30s and up really enjoying. Even though at the end of the day, it is a fresh, clean fragrance, which of course anybody will be able to rock. I just picture in my head somebody a little bit younger enjoying this one the absolute best. But still, of course, no fragrance actually has an age group. So wear what you want, when you want, no matter what age you are, obviously. Just in my reviews, I try to paint you guys the best picture in my head and what I imagine each fragrance who is rocking it. So wrapping the review off, talking on the performance you guys should expect to get from Sama if you do decide to pick up a bottle. For me, the last couple times I've worn this one, tested it on skin, I got around 6 hours, which is somewhat below average. It is an EDP concentration at the end of the day, which I usually expect at least 8 hours from. But still, I will give it a pass just because of how bright and fresh this one smells. And I knew immediately when I first tried this one, I already had in my head that it's not going to perform at the best, which it doesn't. But still, guys, you really can't complain that much. 6 hours is still fairly reasonable. It will get you through the majority of the day and you're going to smell very, very fresh. So no complaints when it comes to that. I'm not sure what kind of performance you get from Pacific Rock Moss. So if anybody knows, drop a comment about that below because I haven't tested them side by side. But I would imagine that one probably gets similar performance to this. But per usual with these Middle Eastern brands, they usually perform better the longer they sit. And like I said earlier, I'll probably let this one sit until next spring. So who knows, maybe after almost a year of sitting, this thing will perform like 10 hours. Just right out the box, expect somewhere around 6. And when it comes to projection, I did get about moderate projection and sillage, which means it will push off of the skin about an arm's length away for the first few hours until it starts coming a little bit closer to the scent bubble until it is a complete skin scent upwards around 6 hours. But the first 2-3 hours, this stuff really does push off fairly nicely. And I think that has to do with the citrusy lemon and bergamot combination that's so bright, so sharp as well, which everybody is gonna smell you. You will get attention, you will get compliments with this one, I guarantee it. Because who doesn't love a fresh, kind of citrusy, clean fragrance, right? It's not inoffensive, it's a crowd-pleasing fragrance scent profile. So expect to get some attention while rocking Sama. But that's gonna do it for my review of Nusuk's Sama. Let me know down below if you guys have heard of this house. Are you gonna check this house out? And if you checked out anything from Riffs, if you have any recommendations, drop a comment below. But I will say, I do think Sama is absolutely worth it if you can find it for around 30 bucks, no doubt about that. So besides that though, leave a like on the video, subscribe below if you haven't already, because what are you doing? I got you with daily fragrance content, and I'll see all of you back here tomorrow. Take care, everybody.